Well, guys, I'm just going to do this from one of my usual working perches, which is one of the couches right here in bed. So I'm going to tell you what happened with the Washington State Liquor and Cannabis Board recently, as in 2 days ago, they finally admitted that they are fake cops. We've had the internal memoranda that have gone out. We've had the internal stuff, all right, but we never had the full-on public admission that they're fake cops. And the ramifications are huge. But wisely, recently, and I have some thoughts about why this happened, recently they have decided to bite the bullet, so to speak, and then admit that they are not real cops. And what do I mean by that? I'll show you. Olivia's checking it out. Right on, sister. Definitely want to save this motherfucker because this relates to what's going on at the bar. All right, check it out. Pepper, say hi, honey. All right. Oh, Pepper. What you doing there? Oh, Pepper. All right. So here it is. Chandra Brady, Enforcement and Education Director. This is the part you need to know right there. Does not have emergency response authority or jurisdiction for criminal investigation. Please review your safety and emergency response plans with your employees, including calling 911 to report suspicious activities or any alleged burglary or robbery. Now, this is important because, for a number of reasons. Number one, let's talk about two different cases. The first case is going to be, Olivia's watching right now, Doc's Tap House and all those people who got tagged with COVID violations, okay? We're having to go into Superior Court now to fight this, but they never had jurisdiction ab initio. Did not happen, all right? And they're trying to ignore it and just ram it down our throats, railroad it through, and I'm like, no, because remember, the whole thing that Inslee did, those were emergency orders. So now you have the director of that segment, who speaks, she's a control person. She speaks for the organization, for, the agency. She's saying, we don't have that authority, so ixnay, all right? Ixnay on the authority. So you're done. So, what's the Superior Court going to do now when we get there and we have a statement saying they didn't have authority in the first place? This is nuts, guys, I'm telling you. And other lawyers don't have the balls to do what I'm doing because they're afraid of this agency. I don't give a shit. I'm going to call it the way it is. I'm not going to be, shackled by these people. So now we're going to get to the deposition testimony of John Jung. Oh, but wait a minute. Before we get there, the reason why this is important, I'm going to share with you what happened in a situation where at a shop I used to shop at, back in Shoreline, right? Hold on a minute. Gosh, I was just talking about this with my ex, and where's the damn thing? Oh, right here. There, okay, yeah. Come on. Boom. Cannabis store employee shot multiple times. Suspects on the run. Okay? Right. That was a Dockside Cannabis, right? That's right near where we used to live. Now, it's another white-owned shop. I'm just going to mention that for a minute because all the shops in Seattle are white-owned because they drove out the blacks, right? They got rid of medical, drove out the blacks, but they did it with fake guns and fake badges. Get it? That's a problem, all right? We're going to get to that later. But right now, let's go back to the depo testimony. I took this guy's deposition online. Like, they had never seen anything like it before, but I got it. I did it in a way that it was on YouTube. Or no, it was on live on Facebook. So I took this guy's deposition. Excuse me, let me read this to you for a minute. All right. Give it that Chips kind of sound. All right. There we go. So we talk about what is an admission. Olivia Marie, you can talk to, I should come to your class and explain to them this case. As a matter of fact, tell your professor I want to come talk to them. All right. So what's a party admission? All right. It's an admission where it's a statement that basically is their own statement, either in an individual or representative capacity, or a statement they have manifested on adoption or belief. But let's just stop right there. Their own statement in an individual or representative capacity. That's good enough right there because we already told you she's a director of education and enforcement. Duh. All right, so you have that. And then let's recap then. What did she say? She said they don't have emergency response authority or jurisdiction for a criminal investigation. It's pretty black and white, right? So I explained that, and I say now, we've put the court on notice that we have 408 settlement discussions looking forward to. We've initiated those because one of our two principal points of law is finally being addressed in a beautiful 180-degree arc. Okay? Again, you have to be a cop to be a cop. And so I long ago intimated to this court that their old position would be tantamount to me sticking a police badge on my lapel, mounting the proverbial gumball light on my personal BMW as an AAG 25 years ago now, and masquerading about as a certified peace officer, okay? Like I show up on somebody smoking weed and I'm like, give me your weed, motherfucker. And they'd be like, man, get the fuck out of here. You ain't no cop. Exactly. Duh. So, like I say, some agency employees in Washington are Leos, some are not. Some AAGs in Ohio, for example, are Leos. Some are not. I was an AAG. I worked for a law enforcement authority, but I was not a Leo. The moral of the story is, stay in your lane. Now, let's get to the depot. All right. Was there any concern among your peers in the last few years that you didn't enjoy qualified immunity, sir? Answer. I know David Stitt and I had many discussions about that when he was here. And when I started to research and investigate this agency's mishandling of their training, David himself actually was scared of the fact that he was carrying a gun and potentially had to pull it out and shoot somebody. So he asked for BLEA training, and the chief at the time told him he was okay as is. And long story short, he ended up just quitting because he wasn't able to continue knowing that. By the way, I'm getting ready to call David Stitt. I know him. All right, let's cruise this forward on to page 39 for the bonus round, shall we? As we know that a bud tender, I may even know. I don't know who the bud tender who was shot. I may even know the guy, all right, or the person. I think it's a guy, all right, was shot and almost killed this month at Dockside Cannabis. And I mentioned the white-owned store. There's a footnote I drop on that because of Jenny Durkin and all those guys violating the Ogden memo to prosecute Beyond Corbray because he was a black man making too much money in Babylon. All that's true, guys. I'm telling you, it's all gonna come out. All right, I'm not letting up. Seriously. So now back to the depot. Sir, if you're in the field and had an occasion where a theft was going on, and let's say you're at a retail store, you're investigating something. You're doing your work, and a criminal suspect walks in with a gun, and they hold someone hostage. They hold a bud tender hostage, okay? So say Sinjo's at the door working, if she still had a job. And so she's still at her job working, and someone comes in, puts a gun to her head. You're standing there with your service pistol. Oh, and I want to clarify. Do you have pistols or revolvers? We have semi-automatic. Okay, so they have pistols. I'm like, is it a 9 or a what? Yep, 9 mil. Okay, what brand? Smith & Wesson. Answer. Okay, that's classic. Okay. Anyway, so because cops, Smith & Wesson, duh. So anyway, okay, now you're standing there. You got your Smith & Wesson, and you see this going on. What's your response going to be? Are you going to draw your weapon? I got to fix that a little bit. The format's off. Okay. Answer. Based on current level of training and experience and my knowledge of my status, I would walk away. I would not jeopardize two families over that. I'd rather be the subject of the incident, but I will not pull my trigger. I had a discussion with the assistant commander of CJTC too, and you'll see that in the exhibit that I submitted my counsel, blah, 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 blah. Don't need to go any further right there, folks. All right? It's all there. And I, your humble narrator, put it out there a long time ago, and people tried to ignore it. So I'm putting this video to YouTube in a minute, and I'm sending it right back to all the legislature, right back to everybody at LCB, all of them, because I was right. Yeah. And some of you other lawyers out there walking around with all that money you've got, all right, all that power you've got, all that clout you've got, and you sat on your fucking ass while I did the work. Fuck you. Fuck them. Pepper, you want to go for a walk? I have no reason to be nice to these people. They weren't nice to me, so fuck them. That's right. Oh, Pepper, we gotta go to the park. Oh, all right, sweetheart. Oh, did you good puppy? Did you good puppy? Your Auntie Olivia watching. Your eyes look a little. Were you smoking? Pepper, let me see your eyes. Were you smoking? My dog has a drug problem. God, sorry to see that. I'm gonna take her off to rehab.